As a parent, you want your kids to be as independent as possible, but teaching life skills can feel overwhelming. The good news? With the right approach, you can make it easier for your child to learn daily routines at home and in the community. The reality is that teaching life skills is similar to teaching all other skills, so you are probably already off to a good start if you've been using ABA to teach other skills. Life skills are the things we do every day: getting dressed, following a schedule, waiting in line, staying safe in public. These may seem small, but for a child, they are huge steps toward independence. Learning these skills doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, patience, and consistency. But every little success builds confidence and leads to bigger victories. There are 3 ABA tools that make teaching life skills easier: task analysis, reinforcement, and prompting. If you've covered these topics in other lessons, this should feel familiar. If you haven't covered them, consider going to those lessons if any of this feels confusing to you. Let's start with task analysis. Task analysis is simply breaking complex skills down into smaller pieces that are easier to teach. Big tasks can feel overwhelming for kids. So instead of saying, "Go get ready," break it down into smaller steps. You might say, "Put on your shirt, then your pants, then socks." Giving clear, simple instructions helps your child know exactly what to do. Some children need these steps broken down even further. Putting on a pair of pants involves laying the pants on the floor, sliding one leg in, sliding the other leg in, pulling pants up until the feet are out, pulling pants all the way up, and fastening pants if they aren't just elastic waist. Some children can learn these smaller steps without explicit teaching, but others will need you to teach each of these steps before putting pants on becomes a fluid skill. Knowing how big or small steps should be for your child is the key to successfully teaching life skills. If you're not sure how small the steps should be, simply ask your BCBA. They can provide the guidance you need to make sure you're teaching at the level that's just right for your child. Once you've broken a life skill into small teachable steps, the next challenge is helping your child complete those steps on their own. One of the best ways to do this is by using visuals. Visual supports can be as simple as pictures showing each step of the task or a checklist to mark off completed steps. The key is to match the visual support to your child's learning style. For example, if your child is learning to get dressed independently, a picture sequence showing each step in order can serve as a simple prompt. Instead of needing an adult to tell them every step, they can look at the visuals and complete the task on their own. If a full sequence feels overwhelming, you can try introducing one step at a time and gradually adding more. As your child becomes more familiar with the routine, you can start fading the visuals, encouraging them to rely more on memory and less on external supports. Using consistent visuals helps your child feel more confident and independent, making daily tasks easier for both of you. Reinforcement is a critical piece of helping your child stay engaged and motivated while learning new skills. Think about what your child enjoys. This could be praise, high fives, time to play with a favorite toy or video game, or even a favorite snack. The key is to provide reinforcement immediately so they clearly connect performing the skill with receiving the reinforcer. If a task is particularly challenging, you might need to use more frequent reinforcement at first and gradually fade it as they become more independent. The goal is to keep learning fun, rewarding, and meaningful so your child wants to keep trying. Home is the perfect place to start teaching life skills because it's familiar and predictable. You have control over the environment. You can minimize distractions and surprises that might interfere with your child learning the skill you want to teach. Simple routines like getting dressed in the morning or brushing teeth before bed are great first steps. You can also teach your child to help around the house, things like setting the table, putting toys away, or even making a snack. Even though you want to start at home, it's important to eventually bring those independent skills out into the community. Taking those skills that you teach at home into the real world is a whole different challenge. Unlike the structured environment of home, public places are often unpredictable. Things can change in an instant, and that can be tough for kids who thrive on routine. Think about all the unexpected things that can happen in a store: loud noises, long lines, crowded aisles, bright lights. Maybe the checkout lane your child expected to use is closed, or the item they were looking forward to getting is out of stock. Maybe you have to leave somewhere earlier than expected, or your child has to wait longer than they were prepared for. These surprises can be overwhelming, making it harder for them to use the skills they've practiced at home. That's why it's important to practice not just the skill itself, but also flexibility. When teaching life skills in unpredictable environments, you need to start small. Choose quieter times and familiar places. Reinforce the skills you want to see, like waiting, following directions, and handling small changes. And be patient. If something unexpected happens, model calm problem solving and help your child adjust. Over time, they can build the confidence to handle real-world challenges with more ease. Start by helping your child with transitions and waiting. Let them know what's coming next and use countdowns to help them prepare. Offering a small reinforcement, like a favorite toy or snack, can help encourage the behaviors you're looking for. Safety is another big life skill in the community. Teach your young child how to hold hands while walking, stop at crosswalks, and listen for instructions in busy places. Older children can learn to watch for moving cars in parking lots or while crossing the street. They can learn to pay for small purchases on their own, even if they have limited math skills. And finally, help your child learn public expectations, like waiting in a store or waiting in line or sitting at a restaurant. These skills take time, so start with just one skill at a time. If waiting in line is difficult, begin with short lines in places your child enjoys, like waiting to get on a playground slide or ordering a favorite treat. If sitting at a restaurant is the goal, start with short visits to a quiet cafe or practice at home by sitting together at the table for a few extra minutes after eating. The community is a challenge, but it's also a great place for your child to learn critical skills that will boost their independence as they grow. Teaching life skills takes time, patience, and encouragement, but every step forward is a step toward greater independence. So start small, keep it fun, and celebrate progress along the way. Your child is capable, and with your support, they will succeed.